to the finals with all this hard work.
I swear
Ken, I was going to say, Ken, our new up-and-coming Cinderella story hero boy Trails defeat the tyrant, the conqueror, Eunos, and here they go!
I swear to goodness, Trails is like in like no less than 3 races a day. So here we go. We have 5 heart containers to start. That is 4 more than were in the entire last seed. We come to the Western P-Bag Cave, and we have 2 red Dyras inside already. I believe I saw that is 100 experience points for killing one.
Yeah, 100 experience each for killing these guys, and with downstab and this room, it's not too hard to do so. Free 200 experience for both our runners.
Very nice. Yeah, this is, let's see what we've got in our first item location. It is a magic container.
I'll be pretty happy with that. That's a good one to pick up early.
Absolutely. I'm not sure if any of our spell or shield's going to be castable, but reflect not yet. But you know, as you said, always good to have. Oh, a raft! We got a raft. It's also
that's certainly going to open up the exploration on both continents here. So we're going to see if one of the players wants to jump in early to the east, or if he's going to fully explore the west. But they do have to complete a lot of dungeons here, so I see them picking up and clearing the game pretty normally for the most part.
Indeed. And the fact we started with only the candle, so I feel like these are practically Swiss flags. We're going into Raru. We're going to find out what spell we have in Raru. Let's see. It's the fairy. That's fairy.
Oh boy, fairy. Very early on, extra magic container. These boys are going to be pounding down dungeons as soon as they find them.
Fairy is castable. It's at 51 magic points right now, which is completely castable. So, yeah, by logic, they can go into palaces now since Fairy negates the need for some keys. Uno's fighting Mido and is not going to go pick up Downstep because he already has it. What do we got? That's Parappa pass-through, looks like, yep.
You can see both these runners are kind of following the exact same route right now. Eunos is like a few screens ahead right now, maybe just 1 or 2 screens at most. Both runners are pretty close. We're going to see how they diverge and what they choose to do differently. But both runners are deciding not to go into Palace 5, which I think is a pretty good decision.
Yeah. I guess since you have 5 crystals to put, if you're going to skip one, I think 5 is the one to go with. Or maybe 6, I don't know.
6 is actually pretty short. 5 is the largest dungeon in the game next to the Great Palace, so ideally you'd want to skip that. Just hopefully the item that you need is not in that dungeon. Like, where do you think the glove is going to be? That's likely going to be the hold-up item for both of our players here to beat the game.
Yeah, I'm going to guess on the east in the desert tile.
Alright, if you're guessing on the east in the desert tile, I'll make it interesting, say west in the Death Mountain.
Oh, that's evil. Which Death Mountain spot?
Let's go with Hammer Cave. It's a bit harder than the Spectacle Rock spot. The game just it might be harder to find.
Right. Except those times when you have a Spectacle Rock that has exactly 1 cave to get to.
Where does our chat think the glove is going to be found? Any ideas?
Yeah.
Get all your guesses ready now.
So we have the orange Dyras give 150 experience. Ooh, Trail's taking a death. Hey, Uno's found a medicine cave. Rose City Saint guessing the glove's going to be in Palace 5.
That is the way to spice up this seed. Take it almost to 2 hours.
Glove in Canada. Oh, well, we found an extra life.
First figure of the run. Eunos is like, nope.
Trails just picked up the trophy. I missed what cave he was in.
Yeah, I was kind of focusing on Enos, but good thing you caught that you picked up the trophy.
Actually, it had to be Heart Container Cave. It's the only cave that had that. It's the only cave on the west that had that long item kind of area left.
Yeah.
Oh, Uno's gonna go ahead and use the raft and head over to the eastern continent. We immediately find a palace, and there's a town, but you can't get to it because he doesn't have the boots. And
Palace 1, that is a fortunate one indeed to find. Hop in, easy item to get to, easy boss to kill, free level.
And no blocks, except for keys, but we have fairies, so... No, speaking of ferrying through doors, we have to do that immediately. Unos is up 1-0 in the series here. If he wins this, he will be our champion. Trails trying to force the decisive game 3.
Trails is pretty humble. I'm not sure if he really believes he can win this, but he definitely has the ability. Like, the fact that he made it this far in the tournament has been knocking everybody out, and he's been playing somewhat consistently. He still has quite the chance to take this game. This is Max Rando. We never know what's going to happen here, so let's not discount our boy Trails out yet.
Oh, not at all. Never discount Trails. And, oh, Unos just found the boss of Palace 1 Horsehead very quickly. Has actually not found the item in here yet. Taking a very aggressive stance towards Horsehead. Takes a death to him, too.
It's hard to downstab Horsehead without the jump skill, and you saw that he was fighting Horsehead on the right side, where he has like a slightly different hitbox, so it's harder to hit him. The easiest way to fight him is just a standard jump and strike him in the ears on the ground, but...
Gotcha. In the meantime, Trails actually found Great Palace on the west. So...
Well, it's good that you identify it, so now you know that's there's going to be a dungeon in Death Valley that you probably want to go in, or likely go in now or something before porting back.
Right. Well, Uno's placing his first crystal out of 5. He's going to go back into 1 here and find the item in here. Completely a good idea. Might as well.
Yeah, you don't want to miss any of your bases here. You want to cover everything. It'd be a really bad way to lose a race if you miss like an easy item in a dungeon like this.
Yeah, no, you definitely don't want to do that. Let's see what the trophy turns into. The fire spell.
You can use fire.
See if he's gonna do that.
We'll likely find out the next time he gets into an encounter. Look at the moves! He has the moves! Meanwhile, Eunos is about to have the item. Or not.
So what was it? I completely...
It was a pea bag in the room, so we couldn't even pick it up with the fairy skill.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Would have been nice, an extra 500 experience. You could still get a level or 2 out of that with where they're at.
Oh, there's the water spot, but we don't have any boots, so can't quite use that right now. Hey, there's Death Valley. And that is one of those forced encounters with all the Lizalfos, but Unos completes the fairy feet glitch and avoids it.
Pretty good, pretty quick. They'll probably be doing a number of those over the course of the run, seeing as they have fairy. Hopefully their fairy feats go well.
Indeed. Trails has found his way into level 1. He's making some good work of this. Unos is he's just in a pass-through cave on the eastern side, isn't he?
Yeah, he ran into the river devil that was just slightly north of him, and I guess instead of going all the way around on the east, he's just gonna see where this cave takes him, I guess. Which is a pretty good idea, in my opinion.
Have we seen what Thunder was? I missed it if he cast it. Oh, hey, it's Kasudo. Oh, it just takes it death to the invisible boa. I think that's what they're called.
Yep, they're Moas.
Yay.
Invisible ones, they operate a little bit differently from the visible ones, but they suck. They suck.
Oh my gosh, it's Thunder.
Well, T-Bird might not be required, so he might never use that skill in the whole game, but it is nice to have in your back pocket there. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, you don't want to...
Oh, now that we think about it, for spells, they have all the key mandatory spells likely required to beat the game unless they need spell. They have Fairy, Reflect, and Thunder.
Right, yeah. Yeah, the only, as you said, the only one that might actually come into play is spell if they have to grab the spell item out of New Kasudo. Unos has been putting on, like especially these last matches I've been able to commentate, has been putting on a dodging.
The slinks, yeah, going through the enemies here, you can kind of read them out. They have certain percentages of which direction they go based on your location, so you can kind of read them, but it is really difficult.
That's a very short Death Valley. I think it's entirely possible Unos goes over there. Yeah, he's gonna do it.
Yeah, I'd go in right now just to see what it is. If it's Palace 4, I'd be happy just to jump in, kill it off, alright? Now, does he... I would go in to find out if it's at least 3 or 6 right now.
Yep.
Like, you're likely to kind of get to the boss or the item. Like, you have pretty good odds getting to one of them either way.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one this is yet.
Palace 6 because there's no jar there.
Okay. So we are still missing 2, 3, and 4. We're just gonna go ahead and go into 6 here. Clearly hoping for the very quick Barba find. Trails is finding the Baru, and there is a spell open here, so he's gonna grab it.
Yeah. Trails has finally decided to diverge from Eunos here. Instead of going in that cave, he's gone a different direction. So we'll see if what he finds going this other way.
Trail's gonna go ahead and grab some water for the nice lady here, who will let him in and will give him a spell of some description. And it's a life spell.
Now, there's only, I believe, 3 real glove-blocked rooms that you can go in the room from like different directions. That can stop you in P6 here. He's already seen one of them, which was the drop room. So we're gonna see if he runs into any other rooms, such as the Canadian hole room entering from the right side. You don't want to run into that room without the glove. And the other room is obviously our favorite room of the game, the lava room.
Yes. Absolutely.
But see if you can fall. Be worried when making a fall without having any magic in Palace 6, because you might require a jar to go through. You might need a fairy to go through one of these things here.
Well, that and that one drop you have to have fairy to even get into.
So with the room that Eunos fell from, that's one of the rooms you can actually do a setup to fall in that hole by smacking the breakable crumbling blocks and giving yourself momentum and knock you in there. If you don't have fairy, it's not easy to do, but it is quite possible.
I've heard about that. I've never actually seen it done, but I've heard about it.
In the base game, in that room before the fairy hole, the drop is directly in the center of the screen with like the center crumbling blocks, and you can't actually ever fall into that hole because it's too far away from you. But in Randomizer, with the holes that are close to the right side of the screen, you can kind of edge yourself to get into that hole if you set yourself up properly. So let's see this Barba fight here. Oh, he is just smoking him.
Using the good old
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Goodness, that is a lot of hits on that guy. That was like 5. I could hear that.
Yeah. You should be able to get, without jump, you should be able to get about 5 hits on him wherever he pops, but like, you can get more than that as you're seeing what Eunos is doing right now. He's getting at least like 6 or 7 depending on where he's striking.
This is insane. Like, he's doing this fight faster at attack level 3 than I do it at attack level like 7. Well done! My gosh, and 1,000 experience. He's gonna take the extra levels he's gonna get from it. Not save up for the extra attack level. Clearly doesn't really need it.
I like how he kind of set his fairy there. He possibly thought he might have accidentally jumped into the lava for a moment. We don't need any Highlanders tonight.
No. Can you place a gem as a fairy?
Yes, as long as you're standing neutral on the ground when you cast fairy, you will be able to place the gem by fairying into it.
Gotcha. I'm just gonna go check out Maze Island, it looks like. Does not have the boots, so he's gonna have to follow the yellow brick road. Trails is also on Maze Island. Doing much the same.
Stabbing the blue lizard. Let's see if Eunos wants it. Yeah, those blue lizards.
150.
They can be worth up to 500 experience. It's always worth to kill one of them to check, because that could be a level or 2 right there, right?
Oh, yeah. So, hey, level 4, Maze Island level 4.
Good dungeon to find and go into. But I think Trails is going to check out the rest of Maze Island before he goes in here.
Looks like that's our plan.
I think I might have gone into Palace 4 first, like Eunos is doing right now, because depending on how many encounters you run into, you're going to have to run all the way back instead of resetting if you don't complete Palace 4, because he's going to run back to P4.
Right. Well, he gets a 500 point P-bag for it and is able to take his 4th life level, so... Let's see what else he gets out of this. But yeah, he's going to have to walk a decent ways back at this point, so I completely understand what you're saying.
He's only gone through 1 extra forced encounter, so unless he doesn't have to jump through a bunch of these, he should be fine.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Right or left, choose your poison.
Eunos is actually going into this dead-end room. My guess is to get the statue at the end.
He or 200 P-bag. It's going to be one of the two. He's already got 696, so it's going to pretty much get him a level if it is.
That's a P-bag. Oh, it's only 100!
Ah! Like, you had a chance at a jar, enemy, and a P-bag in there, so you can get a few things. That is the nastiest room, however, of the Palace 4 lava rooms. For all the rooms you can decide to jump into, there's only one with the horse heads like that.
Right. Eunos taking, I'm not sure, like, trying to take the jump, but ends up taking a hit from the, blue, Dark Nut. Or, I'm sorry, Iron Knuckle. Wrong Zelda game. There we go, there's the level. Or, not yet.
Dark Nuts, Iron Knuckles, aren't they all the same thing?
I mean, they basically are.
Like, look at these floating guys on Trail's screen here. Those guys are nasty. They hurt when they hit you. And they come out of weird angles.
Yes, they do. Well, there's a key up there, but unfortunately no jump spell for Eunos to be able to utilize it. In the meantime, he finds another dead-end room.
He'll probably grab whatever's in here. If he gets a level, he might even reset out. We'll see. He'll clear the rest before leaving, though.
He's been pumping a lot into... Oh, there's another P-bag.
Yeah, there's the reset.
He's been pumping a lot into his magic levels. It's interesting.
Well, if you don't get hit, you don't really need life levels, and they already have 5 bars. These runners are both capable of playing through the game with very few life containers. Attack 3, well, he's already taken care of one of the biggest bosses in the game. He doesn't need to fight Guma. So the only thing that's going to help him go faster, like, really, is being able to cast whatever magic spells you want.
Makes sense.
Like, he doesn't want to die every time he casts Fairy to go through a door.
Right, yeah, no, that's actually a very good point.
So, did Trails find the other item cave? I didn't see if he ran into it.
I don't think so. I have not seen it either. Wait, did I just see a glove on his side? No, I didn't. Okay, never mind. That was a raft. Whew! Okay, that's the item, the room he was in before. Meanwhile, Unos in the... Oh my gosh, Carrick has no health.
It's a sick day.
So, boss's health also randomized. He started off with, I believe, 4 bars. Is it possible the other item is, boot blocked on here?
I think it's possible that the item can be boot blocked on Maze Island. I can't recall in a long time for it happening, but I believe it's possible. No, it definitely is. It's possible for it to be boot blocked.
I was just trying to look at the layout for the Maze Island from what little I could see of it, and I wasn't able to see much of a way south, but maybe they just didn't take a forced encounter to get down there.
Well, I didn't see Trails check out the upper left section of the Maze Island, but...
Looks like Unos is just going to go ahead and leave. He's
Did
not
you grab the
even looking for
main
anything.
item?
No. No, he did not. Trail's going in a direction that Unos did not. Oh no, that's...
Are you still hearing me through your speakers? Is there an issue right now?
No, not anymore. Alright, so... Let's see here. Unos has found the back end of
Trails doesn't want to die in this room. This is a horrible room to die in, because if you die in that room that Trails is in, you will spawn right above the hole and you will fall down the hole, unless you instantly cast Fairy.
Seriously? How?
Yeah, the room with the drop there, it will spawn you in the center of the screen, and the center of the screen is right where the hole is.
Oof. That's not fair, game.
Yeah, so you just have to be worried not to get killed by anything in that room when you fall down.
Well, there you go, I guess. Trail's still making his way through Palace 4. That's Palace 3, since we've already found 6. And that means...
Is anything going to be glove blocked in the seed? Will Palace 3 pose a threat?
I'm not sure, but that does mean that Palace 2 is on the western continent by process of elimination. I always love how glossy everything looks on Unos' screen.
I'm surprised that Eunos isn't playing with his usual avatar. Doesn't he usually play with like a Bones or something like that?
I think he did last time.
With our players playing with vanilla avatars of Link, just with different tunic colors.
I am still actually getting things through your speakers, by the way.
I'll turn myself down a little bit.
Oh, hey, Magic Container Cave. We haven't seen this one yet. Oh, Trails found the item in level 4. P-bag for the Magic Container Cave. Trails taking a death. Thinking that may have been intentional because he needs... Feel like we just haven't been picking up keys in this seed.
Well, if you've been playing Randomizer recently on the latest version, enemies have been dropping keys as part of their regular pool. It is not implemented in the current version they're playing, so maybe if you're used to seeing lots of keys drop in the current seeds, these older ones could throw you off, as the only way you're going to find a key in these ones is if you go into one of the key rooms to find or attempt to pick one up.
Right. Well, so we do have a heart container in Palace 4. So that is one more heart container than they found in the entire last seed. We do
no
have
excuses for dying.
No, we do have a boulder block cave. That will be the trophy cave. So unless we find the hammer and have to go in there, we will never see what trophy cave has.
So I guess Eunos left Palace 3 because he hit a glove block?
Must have.
Oh, the tricky smooth moves. Trails makes it over the Red Knight.
Very nice. I think he's coming up on Karok. I'm not entirely certain where he was. Oh, there he is! Poor Karok. Just don't have it today, sir. Just don't have it today. So, Trails has got 2 crystals placed. Eunos has 3, because he got to level 6, so... where do you go now? Well, that's Eunos just found himself a dead end, so...
Let's see here. Well, I like to go and try to complete the 5 dungeons while picking up the item in each dungeon that I would go to. They already have fairies, so Eunos will probably hunt down and look for Palace 2, assuming it's not, like, glove blocked or anything like that. He could just jump into 5 right now and just, like, take a stab at it. It might not take him too long if he can't find Palace 2. But the issue might be, like, where is the glove? Like, they're clearing all the overworld locations pretty quickly, so it might be in a dungeon, it could be in Death Mountain. And I'm not sure if these runners will attempt the Great Palace without the glove. Eunos says he is very unlikely to do it because the odds are so against you.
Trails might, only because he lost a race because he didn't check Great Palace without the glove. Because as it turned out, that Great Palace was all of 3 screens long and didn't require the glove.
Victor, Palace, they have only 5 gems to place, so he doesn't need to place a gem in Palace 3, so it's possible that the glove is not required right now.
Eunos is digging Death Mountain here.
We'll see how many caves he chooses to explore. He doesn't have the boots, he doesn't have the hammer, so, like, it could be a really bad investment of time at the moment to be searching through Death Mountain. We'll see how long he decides to want to invest in here. Yeah, just check the opening caves. Like, if Hammer Cave was right there or something, and, like, the boots or something important was in there, like, it's a free pickup for anyone who walks in, so you might want to check those caves.
Yeah, well, he has gotten out of there. He did find Great Palace, so... I believe Trails is about to find Barba, or not, he's going the opposite way.
Trails says he has a knack for picking his left turns. He likes to choose. He's interesting with picking them, so... We'll see where that leads him. Unfortunately, just leads him to a dead end right here.
Well, I mean, if anything, it might actually be fortunate since I'm pretty sure Barbara's not that far from the right here. He's going to go ahead and...
Has both our players found both item caves on the east? Have we seen...
Oh, no, we haven't seen one. We haven't seen any of them yet.
Trails wants that level. Will he get it, or will he die?
Got it!
He takes the level. Does he?
No.
Of
Hey, he's got extra guys, so...
He wants his magic back?
No, we're gonna go ahead and take that attack level. And he's gonna save and quit. Uno's still trouncing through the eastern continent here. Last time I got a chance to speak with Unos about like routing and stuff in this game, it was actually really fascinating to hear his explanation for why he did certain things, and this man really knows, like, you know, when is the best time to do certain things. So,
well, there's a lot of odds to read in the game, and if you can kind of read out like the possibilities and odds of which direction you should be going based on number of rooms left and all the variables, you can kind of like map your way through a dungeon or give yourself better odds at finding certain things.
Right. Looks like Trails is gonna go ahead and leave 6 and not place the gem and not fight Barba.
He might be thinking the glove is required to get through Palace 6 at the moment, but I'm not sure where his next plan is to go. Unos, his plan is clear. Jump right into Palace 2 right now and pound that one out.
Absolutely. So that does mean we have found every palace in the game collectively.
I think Enos is deciding whether he wants the item or go for the boss. He should go for both, but gonna go for the item first.
Yeah, the odds that
both of them are blocked is really low.
Right. Now, the odds that the glove is not required in Great Palace is so ridiculously high. Or low. One of those. Not required, low. Right.
Yeah, I think Uno said something like 1 in 100 kind of like odds, so that's what he thinks they are, something along the lines of that.
Indeed, so.
But hey, if... Oh wait, never mind, sorry, I was getting confused with something, but...
No worries, happens to me all the time.
I like these poles in Unos' dungeon. They're kind of like glowing the pillars.
Oh, we found a Helmet Head, so he's going to be able to place his 4th gem here. He's only going to have 1 left after this. Nicely done, sir.
Not bad, not bad. Well, that should be Palace 2 right there on Trails' screen, right? Isn't that the one that Unos is in right now?
No, I don't think.
Oh, wait, no, Unos is on the west, right?
Yeah, Unos is on the west, Trails in the east. Unos going to go ahead and
so
go
Palace
back into 2.
3 then, okay, never mind.
Yeah, that was 3. They're both blue-ish. So yeah, Uno's going to go ahead and jump back into 2 here to see if he can't find an item. Oh, that's the desert tile on, or at least a desert tile on Trails.
To see if he can't find it.
Trail's taking an unfortunate death in that, in this swamp screen. He's going to go ahead and just ferry over everything.
Yeah, there's different ways you can approach that room and trying to go through it. I find that method of trying to jump over the crumbling blocks pretty difficult, but it can pay off sometimes. He had a ferry anyways, so.
Indeed. Trails finds 2 desert spots, and unfortunately, neither of them are the item desert spot.
So we're still missing the desert tile item? Or...
Yes.
I believe one of our, was in the chat, made a prediction that desert tile was going to be one of the items. But, like, the predictions are still open. We haven't seen the Palace 5 prediction. We haven't seen my Hammer Cave prediction.
I'm the one who guessed the glove would be the desert tile. Oh, there's another desert tile. Oh, and new Kasuto. Well, Unos did find the item room in level 2.
Alright, what's it gonna be? He's got the boss, he's got the item, he's happy.
Oh, it's a point bag.
Right. You get spell here, so that's actually going to be nice. You don't want to ever come back to this town, especially when you're missing a glove. If any spell you want to get spell right here and now so you can check the other item.
Right. Did we ever figure out what fire was?
Jump.
Jump, okay.
Trails, I saw him use it in P6, but yeah.
Gotcha. So we have all the spells then, because Mido has the jump spell.
All right, okay, so we do have all the spells. Nice.
Right, and there's, like, since having it with fire, there's literally no reason to go get it, so... Oh, and speaking of Mido...
We'll see if he turns that in for double jump. And there's the desert tile.
There's a point bag!
Ashamed is not the glove this time. But hey, we've got back-to-back items here for Eunos. What is he gonna find in this item cave?
Ooh, nice.
Still no glove. No boots, no hammer, no... I guess I don't really need the flute, but no glove.
Magic container. I did not see how many magic containers you needed to get the item from the...
I believe it was 7 because Trails didn't go in there to grab it, so he might have quickly talked and saw that she didn't give him the item. So he's probably going to come back when he finds his other magic jar. And he's going to get it in this room here. So Trails will actually be able to pick up the other magic jar item, because I think he had one more than Trails. I mean, Eunos.
Yes, because he got the one out of the...
So he's gonna run right back to Nukasudo to check it.
Wait, he must mean he got one out of a place I did not notice. Oh, Maze Island had one. No.
Yeah, Eunos didn't check both item locations on Maze Island.
That's right. There was a magic container there.
So even though Eunos has 4 dungeons completed, like, I'm still gonna think about giving the race to whoever finds, like, the glove first here. And it almost looks like they're not gonna be checking the exact same locations, like, shortly. They're gonna be starting to skip and diverge soon.
Nope. Uno's found the other Eastern P-Bag Cave. If that Nukasudo item is in fact the power glove... And
I might give Trails the game if he turns it in immediately, and it is. But we'll see. We'll see.
Uno's is about to
give the game.
Oh, it's the hammer!
Okay, so they can get 2 items off of that. Eunos might go back to Death Mountain. He definitely has a cave in the west he can pop open with that.
Question in chat, is Trails not going back to Nukasudo? I'm guessing he was just going to check out this cave before doing so.
Yeah, as soon as he goes back to Nukasudo, he's checked everything over here on the eastern north side. He can probably just port back to start right after grabbing Nukasudo. Alright, moment of truth for Trails.
This would be epic, I would say.
We'll certainly give him, like, a chance to come back here, because Eunos might not come back to this town for a while.
It's the boots!
Ooh! Now that is going to make Death Mountain a lot easier, and Maze Island if he needs to get back to that.
And the
that
water
could be
spot.
Something.
The water spot is now open, and if that has the power glove...
Okay, so yeah, he might go back to the water spot first, check that. We'll see how he plans this out.
He was about to pick up his completely worthless medicine.
Well, Eunos doesn't have the fire spell yet, does he? Did he pick it up in...
Does.
Yeah, he skipped a cave on the west. So, it gets him a spell he doesn't have.
Right. Trails jumping back into Palace 2.
We know he can get both the item and clear the boss in here.
Indeed.
So we'll see if he sticks to it. We don't know how many heart containers are going to be in the seed. Like, the amount of heart containers can be randomized.
Indeed, we found one so far. That could be the only one.
Oh, look at that fairy lava room. Very hard to see that in the original game. It is some crazy high odds of that a fairy spawning on a lava tile.
Right.
Like a 1 in 200 or something crazy like that.
Well, he spawned. Keep in mind that he spawned that someplace else, and because remember, encounters are randomized, so those are just lava encounters wherever he was at. Oh, oh gosh, the forest.
It's just so surprising when you see the lava fairy, because it's such an encounter that you're not used to ever seeing. I guess you only really see it in Rando unless you're really fortunate or unfortunate to run into it in vanilla.
Right? Yeah. No,
But they seem to hate fairies in vanilla, so like whatever.
Right. I was gonna say I don't even recall fairies ever actually spawning on the lava spots, so to hear that there is actually a chance is news to me. Trail's placing his 3rd gem. He's got 1 more to go. Hunt is still on for the glove. It may not be required, but I feel like both our runners either think it is or want to find it anyway.
So Eunos is probably going to clear up Maze Island here. He's probably regretting not going through and picking up the whatever items were both in here. So he's going to pick up, I think, a magic container, and the other item we didn't see.
We don't know what the other item is, yeah. Trail's going to go ahead and pick up this key.
While Eunos, I believe, has, like, more dungeons cleared than Trails, like, at the moment with the Palette 6, I think Trails has checked more item locations, so he's further ahead on that regard, and he's about to catch up on dungeons pretty shortly. Oh!
Oh, that was a pea bag. Oh shoot, where was the other?
Let me see where he exits from here, if this was the cave that Trails got, or if it's the one he missed.
Did he find the item room in 6?
Oh no, Trails definitely picked up that one. I don't think he explored here. I don't think Trails explored in the top left up here. So this could be bad if this is like the glove up in here.
Oh, Trails did find both, according to chat. I missed the other item on Maze Island. That must have been the other magic container.
I vaguely remember a magic jar, but who knows? I'm watching 2 streams here. But we've got Trailsy picking up the item in Palace 2.
Unfortunately for him, it is a pea bag. Oh, unfortunate the orange dark nuts on the drip items are only 30 experience.
So do you think Eunos is going to go back into Palace 4 after finding or scouting the item here? Because he didn't grab that item either, so that could cost him a lot of time having to go back through Palace 4. He's going to want to check and clear it off. Like, you can't not check it now that you know you need the glove and you're missing an item somewhere.
Right. Well, does he know he needs the glove? Is that 100% required now?
Yes. Well, it's not 100% required in the seed, but it's Eunos, and the odds are so low that you won't need it that he knows he's going to need it.
So, yeah, it's possible.
Go, Trails! Grab that water tile! I think that's all the Eastern items in the game. Yeah, we've seen all the Eastern items now, right? No, we haven't seen the Palace 3.
Yeah, that's...
So there's all 8 jars.
Another magic container. Ouch.
Well, that means it's going to be harder for Eunos to find the missing magic container that Trails found somewhere, maybe to catch up. We'll see. Unless it's right here. Alright, so if you're Trailsy, where do you go now? Or if you're Eunos. I guess, well, we said Eunos is likely to go into Palace. He reset back. Wow.
Probably going to 5.
What?
He's probably going to go into 5. It is surprising,
okay.
but yeah, he's probably going to go into 5 now. See if that's...
But if, like, here's the thing. If an item you needed wasn't Palace 4 right there, Palace 4 doesn't take too long. Eunos would have just instantly lost the seed right here at that moment. But he's willing to take the risk, take the odds to go through Palace 5.
Yep. My guess is that he wants to see if he can beat Palace 5, which I don't believe has a glove block. Like, to any pathway. I say that and there's a glove block there, but that's just a key. Fairy room required. My guess is that his plan at this point is to just do Palace 5. If it's got the glove in it, great. And if not, maybe just even go check Great Palace and see if the glove's even actually required.
Trying to figure out where Trails is going next. I'm going to make a guess. He's either looking for that boulder block cave, and then he's going to check Death Mountain after this.
Indeed. Alright, we did find it is Trophy Cave, so let's see. Trophy Cave has a pea bag.
Oh, lots of pea bags, but no gloves.
Alright, so the only items we have left to find are the ones in Death Mountain, Palace 3, 5, and 6.
So 5 item locations left unseen that we haven't yet to check yet.
Indeed. The glove has to be one of them. The cross has to be one of them. And what else do we have? The flute has to be one of them. The child is not in this because we had the spell. So that's 3 items that we have to have. And then I guess possible 2 heart containers.
Yeah. Well, we just saw a pea bag in that one there. So he will be going to, I think, Death Mountain or one of the palaces. We're going to see what he opts to do.
Gotta be.
Wait, glove and 5? Wait, what? Oh, I think that's someone's guess. We haven't seen that.
Oh, magic
Ooh,
key!
Really early item there. Not the... the flute.
Wow!
Not exactly what he wanted. But, which means Hammer Cave, right? Or Palace... We got Palace 5, 3, 6, and Hammer Cave.
Yeah. And, yeah, Hammer Cave, yeah. Hammer Cave and, yeah, 3, 5, and 6. Which, Unos is in 6, I mean 5. It's entirely possible this is where the Power Glove is. I mean, I think if you're Unos at this point, you basically finish this. You know, find the item, obviously, but finish this and then just go see if you need the Power Glove. Because, yes, it's entirely possible you don't.
Yeah, I figure he, like, the Great Palace, I figure he's just going to jump right into the Great Palace right after he completes this, regardless of whether he finds the glove or not.
Yeah. Just to see. Because you never know. It could be that miracle, 3-room Great Palace.
Well, even though it's just to see, like Eunos has set the odds and everything before, but, like, he almost lost his last race because of that. Very close to almost losing his last race because of that.
That was such an amazing thing. The scene that could have been beaten in 12 minutes. Dead end there room for Unos. While Trail's still trucking through Death Mountain. Still looking for that Hammer Cave. I feel like there's a lot of caves open here that in this strip of mountain that we can check.
Yeah. I'm beginning to think he's gonna run into him in one of these caves. Like, I don't think he's gonna have to go through a pass through it.
I don't think so. Yeah, it seems like a lot of these caves are just... I mean, look how many you have access to, like, over half of
It'll be the one single isolated cave that you will need to get. Oh, there it is, right there.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty friendly Death Mountain, all things considered. I've seen awful Death Mountains where you had to find Spectacle Rock, and it was like in an area where there was only one cave to get to it. And it's like you've got to randomly guess the one pass through that'll get you there. Those are not fun. All right. Yeah, Rose City St. calling this is a big moment here. If Power Glove is in Hammer Cave here, this is going to be amazing for Trails.
And it'll be amazing for Eunos if the Power Glove is in P5.
Absolutely. Yeah, if Power Glove's in P5, I believe Eunos is going to submit his, never know. Let's see here. Trails is going to ferry over everything inside here. It's the Power Glove!
Oh my goodness.
Oh!
This is a second opportunity for Trails to make the comeback. If he pound off 2 dungeons and get through the Great Palace fast enough.
If Great Palace doesn't require the Power Glove.
Well, we're assuming that Eunos is going to check. We don't know that yet for sure, though. And he's probably going to continue checking P5 for the item.
Indeed. That's very true. Yeah, Trails is, he's in a full dig shake at this point. He's not going to check anything. He's just going to run through the rest of this.
He better not be checking anything. He better just be going, right? To find those bosses.
Absolutely. He's jumped into Palace 5 himself.
Interesting. They chose Palace 5, but I guess it is on the west. He's only looking for Guma. It's not like he's looking for the item. Eunos was looking for the item a bit, too. So we'll see if he has a better time getting through it and finding it.
Indeed. Eunos taking his level 6 magic. He's going to leave! He's gonna go directly to Great Palace. He's gonna go see if glove is required.
The calm before the storm.
This is so interesting.
Yeah, once your experience is above 1,000, I rarely, if ever, fight anything. Like, I see some players always trying to get those levels, like the experience required is like 2,000 and above. I just save those levels for the gems.
Alright. Alright, here we go. Eunos is entering Great Palace at 52 minutes and 40 seconds. Is this going to require the glove? Is it going to be a 3-room Great Palace again? Moment of truth here. We've got a T-room to start. Link could be right here. Oh, we got another okay, this is eerily similar to the last one.
He's got some options, though. He's got some directions he can take, so that's kind of good.
Going up. Okay, we've got a room to the left over there. Going to the right, I mean. We've got options. We've got a lot of options. A fun room.
Well, unless we find some new way to skip all the glove block rooms, Eunos is going to turn around, check the other 2 directions he has left.
I'm like, this is intense.
It could be over at the Max Rando tournament. Could be over within the next few minutes. Who knows? But Trails is catching up. He's slowly pounding his way through this stupid large Palace 5. And he will pound his way through the next dungeon.
Oh, I just realized, if you fall down there and don't have any magic, you are screwed.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a dead end!
He's got one last direction to check, I believe. Like, left at the start here. I think.
Goodness, Eunos is in Great Palace without the glove. Trails has the glove and needs 2 more palaces here. This is insane. Okay, well, we've got another one of these. I'm sure there's a name to these rooms. I've not heard it yet.
The hook rooms?
Okay, there you go. Hook rooms. I like it. Oh, that's a chicken and waffle room!
Oh my goodness. We do have a block.
It is a glove block! Oh my gosh!
So what does Eunos do from this moment in time? Like, where does his game sense tell him to go?
He's probably going to go directly to Death Mountain. There's 2 items in there. Everything else is in Palace. Unless...
But here's the thing. Trails had the boots when going through Death Mountain. Eunos was
right,
missing... Yeah, he doesn't have the boots. And I don't know how to get to that cave without the boots or if it's accessible. Because Eunos checked the accessible caves without the boots.
Oh, you're right. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And
we might both need new microphones after this, but...
That's alright. Oh, Eunos finds the, oh, that's right, he hasn't done a whole lot of,
He skipped a bunch of things from the west to make a run over to the east. Like,
yeah.
That could save or cost you the run, like, the item, like, could be right on the west, right at the beginning, and running to the east. You could be getting yourself in trouble here. But let's see how Trails handles this trouble.
Indeed. With Goma...
Man, Goma's not even gonna touch him. He's just gonna run in and tank him to death.
Yeah.
Just pull him out into the center. Don't worry about getting hit and just get in that hitbox.
Goma is a spider, yes. And I'd like to give a quick shout out to everybody who was watching Randomania 3. Welcome to the Zelda 2 Max Rando tournament. We are in the middle of a quite exciting race here. And Trails has just placed, or is about to place, or not actually going to place. Oh, he's going to go level up real quick. He's about to place his 4th gem. Eunos has all 5 gems. Has been in Great Palace and has found out that it's glove blocked. Trails has found the glove, but hasn't been in the Great Palace yet.
Oh, so, Trails is being greedy here.
Yeah, he's being very greedy. He's going to try to level up here. Those Dark Nuts, unfortunately, well, only giving 30, but that was enough. Meanwhile, Eunos is... Where is he?
He's looking for Death Mountain. Like, I believe Death Mountain's just over here or something. So he is going to go for it. We'll see if he can find his way into the Hammer Cave without the boots. Well, now, if he does, he can regain the lead of the race. Trails is still down a dungeon. Like, Trails still has to catch up on one more boss.
Yes, he does. Actually, kind of depends on which pass-through cave Eunos takes here, and there were a lot of open caves. So it's entirely possible that he's going to end up in the area where Hammer Cave's at. I don't think this is it, though.
Where's Trails going? I thought he completed these dungeons on the west here. Shouldn't he be going to the east to clear Palace 3?
Should be. Or, no, he's here. Never mind, he's right here. He's in 2.
Oh, no, this is Palace 6, I believe.
6. Right, no, 6. Yeah, 6. He's in 6. Wait.
It could be 3. I'm so confused right now. I'm losing my mind.
No, it's 3. It's
Watch.
3. Yeah, it's 3. I forgot the color scheming. It's definitely 3. So 3, we haven't actually seen 3, so we don't know how long it is yet.
3 is one of the shorter dungeons of the game. It shouldn't be too long. But here's the thing. Trails could probably complete 3 at the same time that Eunos gets through here, but wow, wonderful for Eunos to find this cave.
Yeah, he found it in a completely different fashion, so...
So he might have just regained the lead here, depending on how long Palace 3 is.
Yes. And when he gets back into Great Palace, he's going to have some extra knowledge that Trails does not have.
Well, he's gonna go in the exact same kind of directions that he went before.
Oh! Oh my gosh.
This can make it close then.
Oh
this can make it
gosh.
Because Eunos went in all the directions that led him to block room, so he's gonna have to go back through all those same directions anyways.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, come on, Rebo.
Alright, we got him. Eunos has his power glove, and Trails has his 5th gem place.
Trails is also interesting when he plays Great Palace. Like, he takes random lefts from time to time that, like, other players don't usually take. It could cost him, but that also could put him ahead, even though Eunos might get through the Great Palace first. I mean, well, Eunos might go through rights, Trails might take lefts.
Alright, here we go. Trails is leaving the Northern Palace to go to the Great Palace. Eunos has jumped into Great Palace, and he's going to start off by going left.
He's going to out-meta the Trails right away, immediately.
That newly, freshly equipped power glove. Immediately falling down the hook room.
I'm going to guess that Trails is going to go right at the start of the Great Palace. And if he does, both racers are going to have a chance again. They're going to be kind of on the same footing here.
Indeed. So, entering into Great Palace here, Trails actually has 1 heart container more, 1 magic container more, and a couple of extra levels on Eunos here.
Yeah. Eunos wanted to get through that room without taking another hit, because he would have been able to refill his magic. Fortunately, he has plenty of lives to get through this stupid blue chicken.
Dude, Trails is going to the right here. We have Divergence. Now, we know one of these is an immediate dead end. Oh, Trails gonna go ahead and go through the fun room.
Buzz is like, take that. I'm still here.
Oh, Eunos found a dead end. That puts Trails on the right path.
Well, we don't know yet. Trails might turn around, hit a dead end here too, because this is where Eunos turned around. You see the room that Trails in right now? Eunos turned left in this room. But so if Dark Link is right on the other side of this room, we don't know if there's a dead end or not yet here.
I think this is the only other way to go, though.
Eunos is probably going to follow the same path as... No, he's going to go up. Eunos is going to go up.
Oh, he is going to go up, yeah. Thunderbird! Trails found Thunderbird. Trails is going to fight Thunderbird. He will never back down from Thunderbird. It doesn't matter if this is the way to go or not. He's going to fight Thunderbird. I was taking a lot of damage here. And yeah, that's a dead end room. I thought that was a dead end room.
Yeah.
That puts Thunderbird in the way, and he's required.
Thunderbird required for the finals.
That's so
And, like,
awesome.
I didn't see any drop room that would take them back, like, to one of those previous rooms.
No, there is...
Trails is going to be ahead in this dungeon. Like,
yes, he is.
Eunos is going to have a lower attack level. He's going to have to fight the Thunderbird. Of course, he's probably going to do it a bit more efficiently, but Trails is a few screens advantage here. This could be something. Don't die. Don't throw this away.
Oh my goodness, nicely done, Trails. Well fought. I like, so, in case you don't actually know, for everybody out there, the key drops here, there are no keys, key doors in Great Palace.
Eunos showing us how to do a Highlander there. He wanted to save his magic very carefully, but couldn't make the jump without Fairy.
Yeah.
Just kind of...
So anyway, apparently developers, when they made the game, they coded in, like, the allowing the screen to unlock by stabbing that key. So that's why you have one there at Great Palace, despite the fact that there's no key doors in Great Palace.
Right.
It's weird.
Because the rooms lock when you enter the boss, and they have to have some method of, like, telling the game to unlock the rooms, and I guess that was their method.
Hey, I mean, it works. Trails taking a drop room while Eunos fighting through this waffle room. I like the use of Reflect there. Oh, Trails ends up back in the Jackamus room. He was here earlier.
These waffle rooms, when they have those red snake enemies, I like to cast fire and just kind of like snipe them so they leave me alone and I can focus on the other enemies in peace.
Trails takes a reset. Unos, actually, somebody in chat just pointed out Unos doesn't actually have jump, making those rooms a little bit harder.
Oh no! Trails is gonna check every other direction. Did he run into some kind of block that we didn't kind of...
I'm uncertain.
Uh-oh. So after Thunderbird, I believe you're supposed to take the left instead of going up and right to take the drop.
Yes.
But Trails is going to take the left at the entrance here first. He's probably going to take the up elevator to the right. Luckily, both aren't long detours, so he should be back on track quickly enough.
Indeed, but that is going to put Unos kind of back in the
maybe, because Eunos may still take the same drop as Trails that's sent him back, right?
No, that's very true, too. I mean, they may follow the same route. Hey, big boss bot! That's a thing.
Did it just eat the jar before we had a chance to get it? That sucks, but either way, it's a dead end.
Right, he was just gonna reset anyway, but no, yeah, I think when you split that up, that definitely, like, eats every sprite on the screen. Meanwhile, Uno's having an amazing Thunderbird fight here. He's gone clean so far. Nicely done!
Not bad, somewhat clean fight.
Alright, but, yeah, Trails is going to go up here, but he's going to find the dead end here very quickly, so he'll be back on track in a second.
If he takes, the next drop after this, I believe. Fortunately, this room, right now, I don't have a setup for the fireballs to get through the L7 room like that. One day. Right. Oh yes, he is going up the elevator, so he's going to hit the same thing as Trails, maybe?
That's the Jackamus room, yeah. Because I believe he went this way, fell down here, and then ended up basically on the other side of the Jackamus room. Who needs upstab? I mean, seriously.
No longer needed.
Is that a randomizer specific fix, or is that just something everybody figured out you could just do?
No, it's something that I figured out how to do, and then Simple posted how to do it on the Discord. It was like just last week.
Nice. That's cool. So Unos is actually going to go ahead and go to the left from this room here. I don't recall if Trails did this or not.
Oh, that's right. We don't know. Oh, okay,
oh, it's a
drop.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. So that's a drop dead end room, which does mean that another drop could take us there.
Really bad if Trails finds that one next. At least Eunos has seen it. Oh, okay. So because Trails reset, instead of walking back through this room, like he could have just walked back through that room and gone to the left here. This is going to put Eunos ahead. Unless that drop unless he takes the wrong drop and ends up back there.
Yeah.
Eunos is like, what? 4 screens ahead?
Something like that. If that. There's a fairy room. And that is... Oh, this is interesting.
We'll see if Eunos has the luck of NES Martin tonight. 12 chickens in a row or something.
Oh my gosh. Where's Unos going? I'm actually getting
They have 3 lefts to choose from, so I guess he's going to start at the bottom left and work his way up. Trails will take the middle left. Like, we know Trails is going to take the fairy room left. It's always left from the fairy room.
Right, and, well, actually both our runners are on the same screen right now, and Trails is, like, seconds ahead here. We found a
Oh, right, yeah, Trails didn't go back up the elevator, so he just ran straight over.
Yeah, no, we are on the same
Back
screens.
and forth. This is pretty good.
This is insane. These runners are so close to each other. Gosh, could this actually come down to a Dark Link fight?
It could come down to a Dark Link fight. It could absolutely come down to a Dark Link fight.
Oh my gosh, that would be insane. And we have a room going towards the right here. This could be it. Oh, Trails.
Don't die.
Uno's getting over that. He's got some extra life here. Oh, it's a dead end!
Okay, so left from Fairy Room or left from the jar room above it?
Oh, Trails falls down!
Trails just died. Just take a death right here. There he goes. Get your mana back.
Unos is taking the lead. Oh my gosh!
No time for stretching, Trails. You gotta go.
Ooh, that was close. Unos
Alright, so what do you think? Left from the Fairy Room or left from the jar room above it?
Left from the Fairy Room.
Yeah, I think both our players will probably go through that room.
Just because I hate that room, because then I always get knocked into the lava by some...
Eunos may go through the room above it, just if he wants a magic refill, because I don't think he got the jar from that statue yet, so he might go back up there if he's still alive.
Yeah.
That's another way their players could diverge here, I think. But I think Trails is going to go in the Fairy Room.
And keep in mind, this is a shortened Great Palace, so we've eliminated some, like, 30%.
Yeah, most of the rooms here in the game. There's going to be two more drops left, I think, to check. The the Eon room and the L7 room?
The L7 drop, yeah. Alright, Uno's going left of the, oh, it's just a little digger. I think that's vanilla.
Wow, Trails having the game sense to not go through the Fairy Room.
Wow.
Back in the lead.
Little does he know it. Oh my gosh. This is insane. Trails is taking the lead, and that's the Eon drop. Oh gosh.
50-50.
That could be
50-50.
He takes it. He ends up in a drop room. Is it the one by the jacket?
Yes, it is. This is should lead to Dark Link, I think.
It is.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Trails has found Dark Link first.
Go, go, go. Eunos is pretty close. It would take a really trolly fight to lose here, but the streams may not even be linked, so let me check on the SRL here.
He didn't take the drop. He's gonna take the L7 drop and end up back by the Jackamus room. Meanwhile, Trails!
GG! Trails finishing first place with a time of 1:13:01. Congratulations to Trails for tying up the match set.
Oh my gosh, what an intense race. Fan-freaking-tastic. I don't even have to ask him, he's gonna join us. Wonder if Unos is gonna go ahead and continue here, or... Nope, in fact, he is going to go ahead. Unos is going to go ahead and forfeit.
Is Eunos going to jump in the comms, or is he just going to start preparing for the next game? But I don't think we're going to have that tonight. We're going to probably have a broadcasting scheduled for another time. This one did go over an hour.
Yeah, looks like Unos has left the SRL channel. we can get Trails in here. What an amazing race.
I agree. That was one of our closest, like, final races, or perhaps even the closest final race we've had in the Zelda 2 tournament. And we've still got one more finals race to come. It is not scheduled yet, however.
I'm going to guess that we're not going to have that tonight.
Nah, I don't think they're going to do it tonight.
Well, let's get Trails on in here.
But hey, the Cinderella story, it is growing more and more likely by the second. So, ask Trails what he thinks about that in a moment here. Let's get him in. He's just going to grab his headphones and he'll be in.
Man, what an insane race. Like, that was incredible. We are joined by Trails in the commentators booth. Trails, good game. Congratulations on forcing a game 3. You have no idea.
The intensity of this seed, it was from beginning to end, very close back and forth from both you and Eunos the entire game.
Yeah, man.
How do you feel, Trails?
I kind of can't believe it. I tried my hardest because I figured he was going to win, so I figured I'd just give it everything I had, and I'm kind of glad we're getting a round 3 in, but, yeah. I thought I was behind the whole time.
So, you actually kind of were, but one thing you did that Eunos had to go back and do was, you found the Power Glove long before he did. Not long, but a good portion before he did. So what happened was, you guys were going through the world, whatnot. You had 4 dungeons complete. He was in 5 as his 3. Yeah, 3. Sorry, you had 3. He was in Palace 5 as his last dungeon. Finished it, and basically when he went into his 5th palace, he decided that he was going to just going to go mode it and just see if Power Glove was required in Great Palace, because he did jump into Great Palace after finishing Palace 5 without the Power Glove. You at that point had found the Power Glove, but were still 2 dungeons behind.
Palace 5 gave me some problems.
Yeah, he had to go back and he had to leave, clearly, and then go back and search the world for it. At the time he found the Power Glove was the time you were beating Rebanek in Palace 3.
Oh, wow. Was that close?
But here's a few things which cost Eunos the race. He was trying to go too quickly. He jumped over to the east almost immediately before even exploring half the items or caves in the west. He didn't grab the items on Maze Island. He just kind of jumped into Palace 4. Didn't even grab the item in Palace 4. So he was just trying to go quickly, complete the dungeons. And then when he realized that he was missing the glove, that's when he was having to recirculate and go across the whole continent all over again to grab all the item spots.
Holy smokes, man. That glove could have been anywhere.
Yeah, you were at all times in this race were about 2 items ahead of him on the pickup list. So while he was ahead on the dungeon counts by 1 or 2 during the race, you had the item count locations. You were playing the seed. What's the word I'm looking for? Consistently picking everything up as you were going.
Yeah, I didn't want to leave any stone unturned.
Absolutely.
I went into 6. There was too many key doors. The cost of ferry was so high, the whole seed.
Yes,
did he ever find a magical key, or how did he end up getting 3 doors? Death abuse?
Yeah, death abuse and fairy. He was pumping levels in the fair into magic, but he ended up at 6, which I think you did too.
Yeah, it only went down to 43. Did he have all 8 magic containers?
No, he did not pick up one of them. He had 7.
Here's the thing, like, there was a when you head into Nuka Pseudo, when you found that 7th magic container, Eunos was right there, but only had 6 magic containers. So you would have picked up the item in Nuka Pseudo, and he had no access to it, which I think was the boots when you picked it up. And the boots, which helped you get through Death Mountain. So that was a really good pickup in Nuka Pseudo, finding all 7 magic containers. Well, finding 7.
When I came to the realization that Glove was probably going to be on the Western continent, I was like, shoot, because I only checked a couple caves before I sailed east also. So I was like, man, I thought that he stayed over on the west and maybe, you know, poked his head in a few caves. I saw that Hammerblock cave and was a little relieved, but it turned out to be a pea bag. So, I mean, there was a few, you know, I played a little risky too, man. You know, although I did some methodical type of like exploration, and I found, you know, all the tiles in the item caves in the Eastern continent. Like I still played a little recklessly, but I felt like I had to play like that because if I stood a chance, but by the time I found the glove and everything, I almost was certain that I was behind.
Right. And the other thing, okay, so the Great Palace, Eunos had gone to the Great Palace first, and he did a bit of mapping, but he ran into all glove block rooms, so he was going to have to go back through all those rooms anyways. When you came into the Great Palace, he was double-checking, going back through, like, left the start, and then the first elevator up, and he didn't fight the Thunderbird first, so you were getting ahead of him in the Great Palace, and then you hit that thing which took you back to start, or the Jack and Mist room, so you reset. But the whole time, you guys were within, like, a few rooms of the Great Palace from each other. Yeah. And the final path that determined it, the final deciding path, was that Eunos went left in the fairy room, and you went straight up from the fairy room and left. Left from the fairy room took you to the Little Digger. Was it the Little Digger, or was it, like, something else?
It was
the Little Digger. And that put Eunos 1 or 2 screens behind, giving you the time to beat Dark Link, because he was going to be right there.
Wow, what a close game, man! I'm glad we were able to put on a good finals match for you guys.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Crazy.
Like, don't undersell yourself, Trails. You've got some skills. You're pretty good enough. You have the possibility to win here. You've gotten all the way to the finals, like getting all over the competition, like me and everybody else here. So, like, I'm rooting for you, buddy. But you still got one more game to win.
Yeah, thank you, man. That's
I know I'm not supposed to be biased, but like, how can I not be biased, my boy Trail Z?
Thanks, man. I really, I don't know. I just played as good as I could, man. That's all I did. Not to be as reckless, but I still made some gambles. But you know, I was trying not to be as reckless and.
Good show.
Indeed. Yeah, it was it was incredible, absolutely. Any final thoughts on this before we wrap up for the evening?
No, just GG to Mr. Eunos, and thank you guys for the restream and the commentary, and thank you JLo7 for tracking. That's really cool. We couldn't do this without any of you guys.
I know you guys haven't planned it yet, but do you have any idea when you might plan or ask to plan your last game? For the viewers in the chat, catch it.
I guess whenever Eunos is ready. I mean,
that'll help.
I'm trying to think. Like, I don't know. Maybe tomorrow night. I don't know.
So quite possible could be any evening. Check tomorrow night because that could be the night. But
whenever,
whenever
the runners are, whenever you guys are, ready to schedule it. Don't feel like you need to rush it.
All right, yeah, and I don't know. I just want to make sure that it's within his schedule, obviously, and I got to make sure I can put it in my schedule as well.
Indeed. All right.
But thank you guys again, man. I'm glad I was able to have a fighting chance and actually pull through. I really wanted a round 3, because finals would be kind of boring.
We didn't want a double knockout in the finals, like the last few finals have been double knockouts here. Now it's going to a final game. Like, we haven't had a finals that have gone to the final match yet. So great job on that.
Thank you, man. I'm really excited.
Either way, do we have anything else coming up on Randomania next?
Well, not tonight, but tomorrow, actually right now, at least at 9 o'clock, earlier in the day, there was some Final Fantasy Randomizer tournaments going on. I don't know if they're still going on or not. Randomania 2 is still going on. Okay, great. So we're probably going to hit you over there for the moment. But tomorrow, good old 4th of July here in the United States, we do have a few races. Well, actually, I'm sorry, we have one race right now. The Super Mario Land 2 Randomizer League match. That's going to be at Randomania 1 at 3:30. Then at 6 o'clock on Randomania 2, we have a very interesting feature. Some of the Randomania administrative staff, including myself, decided to take part in a tabletop RPG called Mutants and Masterminds. And our first session is going to be broadcast tomorrow at 6 o'clock. So if you want to come and watch TGE, The Greenleaf Effect, do some amazingly awesome DMing while the rest of us try to live, come check it out. In the meantime, for everybody here in the Randomania Networks, again, shout outs to JLo7 for tracking, Wolfman 2000 for restreaming, and Q-Lane, thanks for joining me in the booth today, man. It's been a ton of fun.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure, and good night. I gotta get some rest. Until next time, take care. Q out.
Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you next time. Laters.